Techies. So in this session we will discuss about the block pattern architecture which is used in the Flutter application. So what is block? So block is a component, or you can say a class, that mainly has three components. One is stream controller, second one is sync, and third one is stream. And what is the responsibility of this block? So it has basically two responsibility. One is when event is trigger, it gets that event and process the data into the business logic. That is optional part. And after that you will add this data into the stream sync in the block. And whenever you add this data into the sync, block is exposing one stream, and that data will be travel in that stream. Okay, so for every event, block has a different stream controller that will get that data and processed accordingly. Like for an example, one data is coming in this event. So there is in our block there is a stream controller for that, and there is a particular stream in that our data will be travel. And there is another component sync, that is a entry point of your data to travel into the stream. So whenever your data will come, your controller will add this data into the sync. So whenever your data added into the sync, it will be traveled by stream. So that is the main role of block. And after this, uh, when your data travel into the stream, so whatever UI or component which are listening your stream will get that data that is traveling into the stream, will be get and can update its UI. So in this case you can see, so whenever you in the block data will be added into the sync, will be traveled by stream, and that data will be listened in our UI component. So in the UI component there would be a stream builder that will get that stream data, and we can use that data to update our UI. So that is all about our block pattern. So now we will implement this in our code or example. Application by use of block pattern. Here you can see when I click on plus button, count is increasing, and when I click on this button, count is decreasing. So we will implement this example by use of uh, block pattern. So let's start. First I will create a widget for the design. So I will create a stateless widget, because in my previous widget I have used a stateful widget, right? And even our earlier sessions we have discussed, like we can only update the UI when we are using stateful widget. But by use of this block pattern or provider or consumer pattern, you can update the stateless widget as well. So here I will use a stateless widget. I will give this example like block example. Okay, then I will add this block example in this home. I will change the title as block. Then in the home I will pass this stateless widget object block, and in this stateless widget I will use a scaffold, and scaffold will have the app bar. App bar will have a title of text widget. I will give it a title name of block pattern. Then in the body I will pass the design which we have seen in the emulator. So I will pass this design. Okay. I have added a list view. And okay, so this is the design you will see in our screen. List view is here. Remove semicolon. Okay, then I'm going to run this application. Then you will see the design of this application. So we have this counter and we have two button, floating button, plus and minus. Okay, so the next step would be implementing our block pattern, our block. So for that I will create a folder, and I will give a name of uh, block. In this block I will create a file with the name of block example. So as we have seen in the design, first I will import, okay, actual में we will create a file like block underscore ex dot dart file. Okay, in this file we will create a class. First class would be name of block example. Okay, so I have this class, so I will implement our block pattern in this class. So as we have seen in our the design, like block class can have three parameters. One is controller, right? So I will give a name of controller. Controller would be stream controller. stream controller of, like, we are creating this block for our counter, right? A count has the type of int property, right? So I will create a count variable with the default value 0. Okay, so this count will be managed by this controller. So we have to pass the type of controller. So I will pass it a int. Okay, so first parameter I have created, that is stream controller. Second would be stream sync. So I will create a stream sync. That would also a part of integer. Then I will create a getter method for this, count sync. I will give a name of count sync, and we will get this object from uh, controller dot sync. Okay, so this we have get a sync. Third one would be our stream. So I will create a stream with type of int, and I will create a getter method that would be public. So I will give a name of count stream. Then I will initialize it with controller dot stream. So we have implemented these three components that is required for every event to handle the event, right? As we have discussed in our presentation, like every block can have these three component: controller, sync, and stream for every event. So this, for this block, will get the count event, or count will get as an event in this block. So we have created three component. Then the next step would be, I will create a function, void function, void, I will give a name of function increase. This increase function will increase this counter. First, count plus plus, then this counter would be added into this sync. So I will add this count sync dot, there is a method of add. I will add this count. Okay, and okay, so we have created increase method here. Likewise, we can create a decrease method. That will decrease the count. So count decrease, then I will again add this count sync dot add count. Okay, so this is all about the block implementation. Okay, and one more thing you can do, like you can dispose this after completing the stream controller operation. We can dispose this controller. So I will create a method here with the name of dispose and I will close this controller. This is safety purpose because stream is continuously running, so we can close it as well. So after completing all the operation, we can dispose this controller. Okay, so now this is all about the implementation of block or block. Then the next step would be we will implement our listener, stream listener. We have this stream, so we will listen this stream into our UI, into our screen to update the UI. Okay, so I will go to the main file. Here you can see, as of now we have only list view. So in our body, first I will implement our stream builder, because as we have seen in the diagram, the listener is implemented by stream builder. Okay, so I will implement a stream builder here. Stream builder have one property with the name of stream, and here we will pass a stream object that we have defined our block class. Okay, so for getting the block parameter or methods, first we have to create a block class object here. So I will create a block class object. Block is equal, what was the name, block example. Okay, okay, so in the stream I will add block. What was the name of our stream? Count stream, right? So I will assign it with count stream. Okay, the second parameter would be initial data. So for the count, initial data would be 0. Okay, the next property would be builder. Builder method will have two kind of input or properties. One would be our build context, and second would be async snapshot. So this builder method will have two types of property. One will be our context, second will be async snapshot. This async snapshot will have the value from the stream. Okay, so whatever value will travel in the stream will be get by this snapshot. Okay, so here I would get the updated value. So for that I will pass our design or UI in this builder method. So I will add a return statement, and I will add this our complete UI in the builder method. Okay, add here semicolon. Okay, that is fine. Then here is our add button. So first I will call our increase method by use of block object which we have created above. Block dot increase method, and increase method is what is doing, it is increasing the count value and adding into the sync. Okay, and that sync value we will get in our snapshot, and after getting this value from this snapshot I will update our label or count. Okay, So I will replace this 0 with dynamic value. So dollar of snapshot dot data. In the data you will get the value from the string. Okay, and let's run this application. Okay, so default initial value is 0, and I'm going to click on this plus button. So when I click on this, you will see this is working fine. Our count is increasing. Okay, but we haven't implemented the listener on the negative button. Then when I click on this, nothing will happen. So now we will add this. I will decrease this count by clicking on minus button. Then this is the on press event for minus button. So I will call our decrease method, that is decreasing the count. Okay, I have implemented it. It is doing also same things. It is decreasing the count and adding into the sync. Okay, then we are getting that value in our snapshot, and in the snapshot we will get that date. So run it again. So when I click on this, this is increasing, and when I click on negative button, you can see the count is decreasing down. So this is all about the block architecture pattern. So thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment and subscribe this channel, and if you have doubt on this session, you can comment, so I can help you guys to understand better. Thank you. Thanks for watching.